Good morning, it's Valerie here. Greetings, everybody. I'm hoping that you are having a wonderful start to your Thursday morning. Um, a couple of weeks ago, I went into the office and the laundry wasn't quite done, I think. And so I grabbed something from my wardrobe that was really, really old. I'd say a good 15 years old probably, and it was a black jacket blazer like thing. And it's the kind of thing that I would have worn a lot maybe 15 years ago. Morning, Andrew, how you going? And put it on. um, Felt weird, went to the mirror, and it looked really, really foreign. And I went into the office and thought, oh, it's probably the only thing that I've got on to wear at the moment. I'll just go to the office. And it just felt really foreign when I went to work. Made a comment to my personal assistant and said, I just don't feel right today. This jacket looks weird on me. And the interesting thing is that was probably my staple diet growing up. I always wore a jacket, always wore a blazer. Probably, even when it was warm, I suspect. I have these photos of myself as a teenager going to parties, going out on, I think I'm allowed to say I went on dates. I was a young person. Um, in blazers, right? Now they had all different styles. Sometimes they were like a dinner jacket, sometimes they were more official looking. But even when I was in high school, even though the blazers were optional, because I went to public school all the way through, even though the blazers were optional, I still chose to wear blazers. What is with that? And here's the thing, for most of my growing up years, I probably just felt safe in the identity of being responsible, having a position. That's how I used to get out of swimming carnivals as well. There was no way you were going to catch me swimming in public in a swimming carnival. And so I just would always put up my hand to be one of the official people to record times or to set things up or hand out medals. And that's how I got out of it. And I guess the reason why I'm talking about this is something's changed in me. I've got a wardrobe full of blazers that I haven't worn in years, and I probably didn't even realize this. It's getting a bit cold, and I've been looking for things to put on, and every time I go to get a blazer now or a jacket, I'm like, I'm not quite sure I want to use that. So there is a concept in psychology which talks about how we have some very basic needs. We all have a need to be loved and accepted, to belong, to feel safe, to feel secure. But we also have a need for fun and spontaneity. It's quite a basic need. And for some of us, it's probably an area that we underinvest in. It makes us feel vulnerable. It makes us feel out of our comfort zone. We might take risks. We might make mistakes. People might laugh at us, laugh with us. We can't display mastery. We may not be in complete control of our faculty. So unless, we're using wit and humor to still feel like we are clever somehow. So, for some of us, we may not actually have a broad vocabulary of what it means to entertain the lighter emotions: curiosity, amusement, what's the word? Being inquisitive, being humorous, lighthearted, and things like that. And one of the interesting things is if we actually look at particular work competencies, particularly in the area of team and communication, the ability to have humor is probably a welcome skill, position, attitude, posture, whatever you like. And it really is an area that if we are an overachiever, if we tend to be used to being in a situation where we're being helpful, useful, clocked on, switched on, we may not have had the opportunity to feed one of our basic needs, which is the need for lightness, fun, play, and curiosity. And so I guess for me personally, I was reflecting that over the last few years, being in business in particular, you have to make a lot of mistakes, and social media now is the way to go to be found by people. And I've probably had an overexposure now of making mistakes, having a bit of a laugh, needing to look at myself, when I'm doing these lives, the only person I can see is myself. And probably realizing that I've learned possibly to let go of looking a bit silly, having a little bit of fun, being a bit playful. And as a result, I probably have let go of the need to be excessively in control and put together and all together. And I wonder for you, what are those areas in your world and in your life that's a bit light, that's a bit fun? And how are you being intentional actually to experience that part of you? The idea that we all have some kind of a picture of ourselves as adults, but it often comes from some unmet needs as a child. You may not have had a lot of opportunity, or you may not have been encouraged actually to be happy and have some fun. And you may instead have been given messages that that was excessive, indulgent, lazy, that may have brought some negative emotions into it. So during these periods of COVID, this could be a really great time before you go back to working in offices where it's all very serious, to perhaps experiment a little bit at home with what it means to have lightness and fun, adventure and play in your personal life and in your work life. And I'm looking forward to hear what you share back with me. Take care.